Hello to all my story lovers. Welcome back in Storytime channel. Today's story name is God's Will. This is story taken from Folk Tales of Gujarat by Alka Shankar. Now let's go to the story. In the village of Badeli, in the Valsad district of Gujarat, lived Gokul Das. He was a woodcutter. He cut wood from the nearby forest and sold it in the town. But he did not earn much. Life was hard. One day, out of disgust, he asked his old father, I am fed up of this existence. Do you think it is just my bad luck? I don't know. You were born on the same day as a village moneylender Dhanset. See how rich he is. Some day you will also be rich. The old man consoled him. What kind of justice was it? Two people born on the same day under the same star, and yet one slog all the day long and earned just a pittance, and the other lived in a luxury. Gokuldas thought and decided to end all that. He picked up his axe and rushed to Dhanset's shop. The portly moneylender was at his desk, happily counting the cash, occasionally rubbing his tummy and yawning. Gokuldas waved his axe and shouted, Vacate your seat this minute. Dhanset got the fright of his life when he saw Gokuldas, the woodcutter, waving the axe, his eyes red like burning coal. He was astute and guessed that Gokuldas was off his head. Dhanset knew that his life was in danger, so he quietly got up, walked from behind the counter, held Gokuldas gently by the arm, and asked tenderly, All right, tell me, what's the matter? Well, both of us were born on the same day and share the same star. You are rich. I toil all day long and yet remain poor. So I have decided to run your business. If you like, you can go and cut wood for living. Gokuldas sat at the desk. Dhanset put his hand on Gokuldas' shoulder and said, I understand. To be frank, I too am not happy with my luck. Our king was also born on the same day as we were born. All three of us share the same star, yet we are mere subjects. He is our lord. He issues order. We obey. Is that not unfair? I did not know that, Gokuldas admitted. He thought for a moment and then told Dhanset, Let us go to our king and demand justice. Dhanset was keen to get Gokuldas out of the shop. He therefore agreed to the suggestion of Gokuldas, Come with me. I know the king, so we can get an audience easily. Soon they arrived at the palace gates. The sentry bowed to the Dhanset, who was a regular visitor to the royal court. He ran in, got the permission for the Sith and for Gokuldas to enter the palace. What brings you to my court? Dhanset, the king asked. Oh, great king, Gokuldas, my friend, the woodcutter, has something very important to ask of you. Dhanset paused. The king asked Gokuldas to speak fearlessly. Pardon me, your highness. Bear with me if my question annoys you. Do you know that all three of us, your highness, Dhanset and I, were born on the same day under the same star? You have immense power and wealth. Dhanset is rolling in money. Only poor me. I am wallowing in poverty. Gokuldas complained. What do you want me to do? Confer on your riches? The king asked. Oh no, your highness. Let us go and find out why our fates are so different. Won't you like to join us, your highness? Well, if that's your wish, then so be it. The king was amused at the proposal. The king disguised himself as a farmer. He turned to Gokuldas and said, "Let's go." The three of them set out on their quest. At sunset, they reached a small town and spent the night at the local temple. At dawn, sun rays crept in. The three stirred in the beds. "What do we do now?" The king lifted his head from the pillow and asked. "Gokuldas, you started it all." Then said, "Pull the bed cover right up to his chin. I think both of you are still sleepy." Gokuldas bounced out of the bed. "You are right," the king and Dhanset replied in one voice. "Listen, today I will go out, cut wood and sell it and buy food for all of us." "You," then said, "it will be your responsibility to earn enough to feed us tomorrow, and the third day, if it pleases your highness, you will find and bring enough so we don't go hungry." Gokuldas proposed. "We agree." The two hardly managed to reply. Almost instantly they went back to sleep. Gokuldas picked up the axe and set out for the woods nearby. He chopped off the broken branches of the tree, slices them into a firewood, bundled up the pieces, and heaved the bundle onto his head and went around the town. He sold firewood and collected the cash and hurried to the temple. He handed the money to his two companions and said, "This is what I managed to earn today." The three of them bought some flour and vegetables and cooked a simple meal and sat down to eat. Soon it was night and time to sleep. Dhanset was restless and he wondered what he could do to earn money the next day. He then remembered that he had brought along a small bag which held 10 mohurs. That cheered him. He decided he would buy something cheap and then sell it for a profit. Soon he fell asleep. It was hard for him to get up in the morning, but Gokuldas hauled him up and said, "Get going, you lazy bones. Today it is your turn to feed us." Dhanset took time to free himself from sleepiness. Then he washed his face, dressed up, and set out for the bazaar. On the way he sighted a few bullock carts rolling on merrily. They were loaded with food grains. He ran to the leader of the group, who was riding a horse, greeted him and asked, "Where are you going?" "To the main bazaar to sell the food grains." "Why don't you sell them to me?" "The entire stock?" "Yes." "How much do you want?" The two haggled before finally settling the terms. Dhanset paid him 10 mohurs. The entire load of food grains was now his. He unloaded the load on one side of the road and waited. As luck would have it, an official of the royal court needed food grains for the soldier who had pitched tent outside the town. But there was no stock in the bazaar. He was frantic. He searched for food grains everywhere. He could not believe his eyes when he spotted Dhanset sitting beside the pile of food grains. He greeted Dhanset and asked him whether he would sell the entire lot to him. "Happily," replied Dhanset. "How much do you want?" 20 mohurs. "That is too high a price. In another hour the price will be 25 mohurs." Dhanset was good at selling. "You clever baniya," the official said, while handing 20 mohurs to Dhanset. Dhanset joined the woodcutter and the king and handed over the profit of 10 mohurs. That day the three dined in style. At night, while the woodcutter and the moneylender slept peacefully, only the king lay wide awake. He wondered how he would earn enough to feed three of them. He woke up very early. He found his companions fast asleep. He slipped out quietly and walked towards the neighboring town. Soon he walked through the gates of the town. He got a surprise. A well dressed man who looked every inch of royal courtier hurried to his presence, garlanded him, and knelt at his feet. Hundreds of others ran to pay homage to him. The king did not know the reason. Then one of them explained, "Our king died a few days back. He died without an heir. So we decided to make the first person who enters the gate this morning our king. You were the first to walk in. You, our new king." The priest applied tilak on his forehead, and the trumpets blew loud to welcome the new king. The king found it odd. Fate had chosen a king to become king of another state too. He instructed the officials to arrange a grand feast. He also sent messenger to the temple to fetch Gokuldas and Dhanset to his presence. When Gokuldas and Dhanset walked in, they found their king on the throne in his land too. The king told them all that had happened. He then turned to Gokuldas and asked, "Have we the answer to why each one of us has his own destiny?" "Yes, your highness, it's God's will," Gokuldas said. "God will that you help me enlarge my kingdom." The king said, "I am grateful to you for that. Take this a purse of 100 mohurs. I also grant you 10 bighas of land." Gokuldas touched the king's feet and said, "You are my God, and my God wills I be rich. Who am I to question that?" Now this is the end of the story. Do you like it? Then comment it and subscribe my channel. Bye bye.